Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Troy and welcome back to Lead Therapy. 4 months ago, I made a video called Former ATF Agent Says 60% of Guns in America Don't Have a Single Part That Is Subject to Federal Law. And as of today, that video has over 545,000 views. In that video, I talk about former ATF agent Dan O'Kelly and how he has testified in numerous cases for the defense when the ATF has filed charges against individuals concerning firearms. And in most of the cases he's testified in for the defense, in most cases the prosecutor drops the charges because then they know it would set a legal precedent that could be used in thousands of cases around the country. I then made a video about 3 months ago called Big News, ATF to Rewrite the Definition of a Lower Receiver. Lower receivers are not firearms. And as of today, that video has received over 120,000 views. And the information that I got to make this video actually came from Dan O'Kelly when he wrote about it online, saying after he testified in quite a few of these cases, the ATF told him that they were going to rewrite the definition of a lower receiver, but it could take 2 to 5 years. And that information that he wrote online was in 2019. And now 2 years later, we're in April of 2021. The information that I'm going to give you now comes from John Crump from AmmoLand. I checked on YouTube and I only could find one channel that covered this information when it first came out. So a lot of people don't know about the information that I'm about to give out. Sometime at the end of March, several large Type 7 federal firearms license manufacturers, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, and Polymer 80 met with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, the ATF. Although detailed discussions of the meeting are not known at the time, AmmoLand News received leaked emails from their sources that show that the ATF is seeking new definition of a firearm. As you know, under the current regulation 27 CFR 478.11, the definition of a firearm frame/receiver states that it is part of the firearm which provides housing for the hammer, bolt, or breech block, and firing mechanism, and which is usually threaded at its forward portion to receive the barrel. The email goes on to state that many frames/receivers do not meet the definition. The meeting was to solicit input and feedback on the new definition to include all current firearm frame/receivers on the market. Actual emails received indicate the listening session with the ATF was more about the growing diversity of new gun styles and how to serialize more gun parts, including rifle chassis systems, but also the long unchanging history of firearms receiver definition and the need for updates to reflect changes in technology. An AR-15 lower receiver houses the hammer and firing mechanism, while the upper receiver houses the bolt. In an FAL, the upper receiver is the serialized firearm. The meeting seems to be stepping in the direction to change the discrepancies between different guns. Recently, there has been multiple cases where the ATF has arrested someone for selling an AR-15 lower receiver. The defendant challenges the ATF because an AR-15 lower receiver doesn't meet the definition of a firearm. The ATF quietly dropped the cases without comment. One case that stands out is the ATF arrest of Joseph Rowe for illegally manufacturing AR-15 style rifles in Los Angeles. He challenged the ATF's classification of an AR-15 lower receiver as a firearm. Instead of fighting the case, the ATF quietly dropped it. Most believe the ATF was worried a judge would decide in Rowe's favor on ending gun control efforts. Sources inside the ATF tell us that the agency is considering changing the firearms definition to encompass the upper instead of the frame. The ATF reasons that anyone can finish an 80% frame or even a 3D printed one, but most of the general public do not possess the tools to complete a slide. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What part or parts of a firearm do you think the ATF is going to have the manufacturers serialize? And if you enjoyed the video and if I gave you information that you didn't know, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. And I will see you in the next video.